the first to know Nsem-Pii TV.
For a few NDC for woman ya bripa. Aye yaw asani tano. Anchese wakasa edima aye NDC amanyukunu. Oni NDC mpanyinfo bi ede womu adwenkyere abitudwa. Afa aye John Mahama womu ankasa ema mpanyini NDC fo nyina ama mpanyini anchese amamu a wobu afa aye Galamsey ho na womu kyere se aye ministers any asojasefo a womu di plane ekoko nya plane crash anchese womu wuye no ekamya kwaya se womu wu no Mahama ama womu wu no ayekwa ase mpanyinfo no awu nkwase awu bi ena di ama aye oman no anase NDC amanyuko no fi se wasenka saadi we see no anka president John Dramani Mahama state of emergency kwana nanka wakole asojasefo no omugu hono de be na omoye yohunu na police fo omugu hode na omoye bokonto kwakwa no omuntimi empataye ana makampo omugu na bosumi be yetwe sankofo ne ka omunso omundi dwuma bi amfa mboa oman no Galamsey no kwa na ekoso omo sai yensase yensuo esei akwaketete kwa na no wonya kidney problem if you say yensuo ye no no chemicals wom omo sai yensuo omo sai ye bibia anti so omo sai oman ne bibia yawo asani tano ani NDC mpanyimfo no sei Mahama a disappointed woman or disappointing a omanebo ama abusuafo or disappointing a Mutala Muhammad or also abusuafo free say no was quality order state of emergency Emma Galamsey no or etwaso nanso mpanyini crowd intesnani agia Africa no pese Galamsey no enkoso more emfama aye ono John Dramani Mahama mumintie ya sanitano ani on the NDC mpanyimfo ensema omkachire Mahama no mumintie
so much power that, and you see, Nsem-Pii can be in his response to the good Galamsey regarding the special task force from the IGP. I was also disappointed in that particular answer. The issue is that 8 people have died painfully. These were your appointees. I learned the Muniru was even in charge of your farms. You have appointed these people. We have other gallant men within the NDC, 5 of them. 3 servicemen are almost. And like I said already, they did not go on just gallivanting or maybe a window shopping. They were going to, as it were, launch your vision of responsible mining. They died in a manner unprecedented in this country. They die in a manner that the pain can never leave our hearts and our minds. And that should have provoked you enough that this particular encounter you had yesterday, your anger should have told us that you are not going to relent on your effort to deal decisively with Galamsey. Now, the Yaka Council out he downplayed the IGP special task force who went there, and I was surprised about a particular word he used, and I'll quote him: any little officer gets up and wears helmet and jacket, and he says, "I'm a commander, I'm going to." Hey, Nsem-Pii, really? We love you, and this is your last chance.
But disappointed,
right? He will not. He cannot fail. He cannot disappoint us. No, I mean, it is for us to dissect it. Let him know that we are angry about some of the responses that he gave. Let him know that the society are up in arms against Galamsey, and he is the one we have elected to see to it that this thing will be a turn of the part. I cannot sit in Accra and ensure that many more cannot be affecting me. And the upset said to downplay the IGP special task force. And indeed, when he mentioned the number of excavators that they have seized, I can assure you, sir, the IGP special task force managed to seize so many of it that which make us say be at 400 or something.
Yeah, more than 400 in
right? The IGP special task force were there to protect your vision, were there to serve this country, and they did very, very well. But You are describing them as any little officer gets up and wears helmet and jacket and thinks that he's a commander and he's in the bush, and that they have not liaised with NIMOS. Why is it that when NIMOS was being set up, they did not plan it in tandem with the police to ensure that special task force here send it over there? NIMOS is part of it. Indeed, the special task force was there before NIMOS was set up. Into why we now are playing the theatrics as if to say special task force they are not serving Ghana, they went there to serve their own interests. Sadaka Mame Yami went to issue some warning to his own government, saying that they should shut down that special task force immediately, and it has happened. It has happened. Some of us were thinking that be a police for Lancashire, and indeed the police administration was very tactical in this, in terms of the answers that we wanted. Almost all the SC or not, no money being they wanted them to go and take care of that place, and that the following Sunday a new task force would be sent to the various forest reserves and the water bodies. Little did we know, it was government's instruction that stopped them through Yami's effort, isn't it? Because of the cow president and stop. I came to sit here, condemned Yami, and said, I was wondering how His Excellency the President was going to process what Yami said and implement it. And I was even thinking, Yami would have been sanctioned for saying that, because it means that you are thwarting the effort of the government. When Mami Kate Jefu Abeka said in November, crucial period for election, Abeka said, pressure now, opposition, the party NPP said, it declared state of emergency. No, most of Galamsey for no mano. And my young two are banning your 2 years, and a crime be so near yes, you condemn. Until today the ball is in your courts. Play it for us. What's it there be too much power, we have not exhausted those powers. Meanwhile, people are the special task force from the police administration. They had managed to even endear themselves to the community, to the point that the community were happy, said they were there, and they had assured themselves, we'll give you, we are taking your numbers, we'll call you whenever we see, Obimu are invading in any of the forest. Yet today, they are being described as little officers, right? Into Bame, Omanpeni should come again. The state of emergency, we can't stop discussing it. The state of emergency should be declared at Galamsey year 2 Mokrum. Galamsey no. I saw the police special task force. Police for I have the video. And these are the areas we are saying, declare state of emergency, and then let's flush them out. And then you start moving towards reclamation of lands and launching your responsible mining and educating people. Of course, I must also say, I was happy about the aspect where he said, they have sat down with the big mining companies to cede part of their concessions for Nkrofo. Now, mommy, that bank until that thing is finished now. And said already declare state of emergency because because I was expecting, when they have finalized everything and they have moved those who are doing small scale mining or whichever Galamsey into those concessions, then anybody who comes into the other areas that they have not asked them to go there, then probably what has to happen will happen. But one to us, Mr. President, in conclusion, I'm saying, some aspect of your response to the Galamsey issue, it is on the heart of everybody. So please deal with it. We need the state of emergency.
I feel now who say Nsem-Pii Mahama disappointing.
Yes, say Gonja tricksters.
Well.
And Abba.
You
say Achim Sakawa Mafia no ko.
I give you way
to Gonja tricksters.
I see. Well, almost that's their opinion. Okay. So Achim Sakawa Mafia and the we had President Mahama describing Achim Funyina in that now one of the year who said President Kufado a protester na Oshia Catholic Bishop Conference for only on Budin Commonos I don't know for Motiho Emma the former president describing a whole tribe so Sakawa Mafia for
Sakawa papa
mafia so nya papa
kan mi enu asa bo
waka bom
say ayehu
na odi ato tribe eso because you watchim kotoku you watchim bosume and you wo achim abuakwa na mo asofo no obia eye se onka ho asem and sa video no be hu se security yenko tie sa video no na yenhwe yenko tie hwe ade yeah.
Who would comment on that? The comment made by my opponent, Achim Sakawa people. I've not heard any public figure in this country, independent, yourselves or anybody, comment on it. It's completely unacceptable. If I was to get up to make a comment about Northerners or Munchas, you can imagine the uproar that would be in the country. Presidential candidate, a former president of Ghana, you can call a group of Ghanaians Sakawa people, and it involves the group for which the sitting president comes, and that comment goes without, that statement goes without comment. And at the same time, we hear these statements. Let's all try and bring the politics of insults to an end, etc., etc. The occasions are given where specific comments can be made. Nothing happens. And then it's lost. It's lost in the generalities. We need to focus on this matter in an even-handed way. I get the impression that because of the unfortunate, in some ways, authoritarian origins of our state in its area, where it was considered dangerous to criticize government, the pendulum has now swung the other way, where government is the only group you can criticize. If you criticize government, no matter what you say, is legitimate. If government was to respond, that's somehow illegitimate. Media freedom is interpreted as meaning the freedom to criticize others, but you can't criticize the press. If, for instance, they step out of bounds or they conduct themselves in an irresponsible manner. So all of this, I'm trying to say that it's a package that we all have to look at dispassionately and act on issues when they occur. I'm very, very disturbed by this remark that the former President Mahama made about Achim people as Sakawa people. And I've up till today, I have not heard any senior citizen of this country, lay, religious, civil society organization, public think tank, reprimand him for that statement. What can be the basis of such a remand? It is a public act that you have a problem with. Fair enough.
All right, so we Ghana mampani dada na kufara bra na oye mampani. Now you can feel the pain. Akala you feel so. You can feel the pain in his voice. Say onya happy and yen tell who kufara say all complaining about bibi. Or say president in a tribe no. Any who describe him nyina so boy Achim Sakawafo. Now this discussion are very important and they say Mampani Mahama say enedie obi ntimi nkasa ntia no ti oboga na fokoko wa be kasa tie me bia no me use wo IPS address me nimba bia atie me me abechew look okariye no Dr. Baumia Kasai ese me yesremuni unsu yesremuni entafo yantete yesa otimi describe a whole tribe say omo yesakawafo we die say opachew one can say Yinapani and Kasasa. Dr. Baumia Kasa was asking me. Yeah.
One of the key factors to development, is peace. And peace in Dagong. We have had peace in Dagong as a result of the tireless effort of President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo working in harmony with the Asante Here, with the Nayiri and the Yagbonwura, along with the chiefs and people of Dagbo. And therefore, Nana Akufo-Addo is not a Dagomba man. He is an Achimba, an Akan, who has brought peace to Dagomba land, part of his effort, along with others, to bring peace to Dagomba. And so, we are thankful for him. We want a president who unites us. We don't want a president who divides us. We want a president who unites us. And so, the recent utterances of John Mahama referring to Achim Sakawa boys. Achim Sakawa. How do you take a whole tribe and say they are Sakawa? How do you do that? And my message to John Mahama is that you cannot win this presidency with tribalism. Ghana has gone beyond tribalism. Come and show your competence in the delivery for the people of Ghana. But because you cannot show your competence, you are resorting to tribalism. We will not stand for tribalism. Nana Akufo-Addo, yes, he's an Achim man, but he's a Ghanaian. And the Achim people are proud Ghanaians, as with other tribes. And they have, if you look at our big six, 3 of them are from Achim. 3 of them. These are not the people you can blanketly call Sakawa people. And so we will continue to call on John Mahama to apologize unreservedly for what he has endorsed. Unreservedly.
All right, so where Yera Dr. Alhaji Mahmoud Bawumia now or calling on John Mahama to apologize. Now you see, where before the 2020 election, I can't see free so at the time when Mahmoud Bawumia was taking on John Dramani Mahama. When I about me on the contest election, na dan kwa kufa na contest election. Away hey, I want for no. Hey, what the head, man? Hey, you know, onim. There be onim. Na Akufo-Addo and na air contest election. Na Bawumia Ejian na so ekon edema MPP. I know another topic for another day. But I say big six for no crano. Emu miensa aya Achimfo. How can you say Achimfo is Sakawa for? And to cause the bias your mama and apologize. Your mama granting interview can say on apologize. Na Akufo-Addo or say Akufo-Addo mad debate. Na Akufo-Addo person Uganda debate tinti and wakwakote wechi can say on me patrol. So your mama did not apologize for calling Achim people Sakawa people. I have the video. As I Akaline, my more Jomama video.
A debate with President Akufo-Addo. He's not found it worthy to respond to that call. I can understand President Akufo-Addo's frustration, desperation, and deliberate attempt to shape up ethnic sentiments in this particular case. But I don't think it will wash. I've advocated a campaign of issues, and that is what I'm focusing on as I engage and interact with people on my tour of this country. It is important for me to point out that no one has described his ethnic group or any other ethnic group in the manner in which the president mounts this complaint. What I remember is I shared a post of one of our very fine and brilliant MPs for Bogatanga Central, that is Honorable Isaac Adongo. And in that post, Adongo describes certain people in Akufo-Addo's government. You know, he has a lot of members of his family and friends in his government. So Isaac Adongo described those behind a certain shady and untidy deal in the government in a particular manner. Yes. I'll be the last person to disparage any tribe or ethnic group.
All right. I don't even have to continue. Say na eya aka all kasano and sign repeat here. Say he described them in a certain manner. Because the president, you know, on him say na enye. Again, say o share obi try on Facebook. Now share, it means you agree with the person. It means you agree with the person. And you know Mahama, you know also on patcho and ampeni ampa so godon. Yera John Mahama one patcho.
What that's okay. Was say he will be the last person to disparage one ethnic group. But in reality, John Mahama is always the first person to do that. He's a very reckless person.
Yes.
Every day.
That be.
Was just sitting president. Okokumasi. Was there Santa Ford ye Ingrid? You want the year fa and ye fe. Dobe ya maybe a year fe. It is yet the gold. A bay ye crying na.
Because one year.
The meaning is that as at the phone you na a Ingrid.
Bunia ye
bunia medasi. Imagine this will be the podcast 7. I first just the bush like a crown and yet the whole of going for.
Yeah.
Make condemn such a person.
Another Akufo-Addo can say imagine so no Akufo-Addo and I can say Gonja for Gonja for Sakawa. I say imagine say Akufo-Addo can say Mahama Gonja for Sakawa for no and can be so man get. What him say atim die after say okoko from somewhere Sakawa for no. That time na the original communication officer friend Baba Jama Koni.
Okay.
No so I can say Achim for onupo de omo ye amamre try na so say mane mbachi bibiem ono ne former regional chairman Tewi Aboate efusampo for no and the copper achim
mekai yeah
omo say John Mahama na akoye nsu ama achim na nye say John Mahama nka o chehene ene mmoa ne numu nsu meanwhile na nsu o chebi de John Mahama koye expansion and so I say enye John Mahama ne beye pipe ma a chebi fo a anka o chehene ne mmoa ene achim fo ne mmoa ne numu nsu